Hey Couch Surfers, Brandon here. So, I'm gonna apologize for the shitty lighting in this video. I'm trying to do this one shot, one take, and I don't really have any decent lighting options available to me right now, so just try and bear with me here. So, Austin mentioned it in the last video that he posted, but I wanted to apologize for the fact that it's been like almost fucking 4 months since there's been a video on this channel. Um, Austin's been busy as hell, and I have, well, my life is drastically different than it was last time you saw me. For starters, I don't know how well you can tell, but I am no longer living with my mom. I'm living with a few friends now. Not really gonna go into how that came about, to be perfectly honest. It's something I don't really feel comfortable talking about on video. Um, there's a certain point where I feel like my private life needs to stay my private life, and this is one of those situations, so forgive me. So, anyways, the topic of this video is to discuss your first big breakup, or your first breakup, or whatever it was, and I have to admit, not exactly the topic I wanted to talk about this week, or any week, but that's what got drawn from the hat, so fuck it, let's talk about it. The first thing to keep in mind with me talking about this is that I was a very different person when I was in my first relationship. It was when I was 15, almost 16 years old, and I wasn't as well equipped to deal with the depression, anxiety cocktail back then as I am now. I'm notorious for not really handling things well. I'm notorious for usually just not dealing with my problems very well, and this was especially prevalent back then. So I'm gonna try and talk about this without giving away too much information because I don't wanna. I have no issues talking about my life, but obviously there was another party involved with this, and I don't want to. I don't know how comfortable they'd be with me giving away certain details. Um, but yeah, I was 15 when I was in my first relationship. I was depressed. I wasn't as anxious as I am now, but my self-esteem and my self-image were way worse off back then than now. Which I'm sure some of you who know me IRL find that hard to believe, but trust me, it's possible. I know, I lived it. God, this is awkward for me to talk about. So, dealing with a lot of self-image issues, dealing with a lot of self-esteem issues, and when you're 15, 16 years old, when you're still in high school, romantic relationships are the be-all, end-all. They're everything. You know, society has kind of made that a thing. And as much as I'd like to say otherwise, I was no different. So, this relationship meant the world to me. The person who I was with meant the world to me. Still means the world to me. She is, still one of my very, very, very good friends. I feel like I might have said a little bit too much there, but whatever, whatever. Most of you probably don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Um, and we were together for about 3.5 weeks. Not very long at all. That's a millisecond in life, but, when you're a little younger, 3.5 weeks is a sizable amount of time. And after 3.5 weeks, the relationship ended, and I did not handle it well. I handled it in probably the worst possible way you can deal with the end of a relationship. At the time, I was self-mutilating on a regular basis. I was cutting myself, and I was cutting myself after the breakup, which, looking back at it, that's one of my biggest regrets ever. because I was doing it in a more obvious spot at the time. I wasn't really thinking about what if other people um, see this. I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. And I'm not trying to say that if you're gonna do it, you know, do it in a place where you can hide it. Don't fucking do it. I speak from experience. Self-mutilation is nothing to fuck around with. But I digress. That's another video for another time. I was self-mutilating, and while on the surface, I told myself I didn't want to make the other individual feel bad. Self-consciously, inside, I feel as if I was trying to make her feel like shit. I feel like I was trying to make her feel guilty about the fact that she broke up with me. And I fucking... There's not a week that goes by where I don't think back to this and instantly fucking hate myself for the immature, asshole-ish way that I went about handling it. I realized I was only 15, 16 years old at the time. So I can chalk it up to the fact that I was immature, but at the end of the day, I pulled some really not okay stuff when that relationship ended, and I still feel really guilty about that. So moral of this video, if you're at the end of a relationship, do everything I didn't do at the end of my first relationship, and don't do everything I did do. Because it will make you look like an asshole. If you're a halfway decent person, it'll make you feel like an asshole. And that's because you're being a fucking asshole if you did what I did. So, hopefully next week's video is gonna be a little less awkward. Oh god, I feel like a fucking dick now just thinking about it. So, yeah, that's the story of my first breakup. Austin, I'm really happy that you brought the channel back. Maybe not this particular video, but I'm really happy that you brought the channel back. I've missed doing this again. To you, the couch surfing audience out there, I apologize for the fact that I haven't really been around. Austin has already apologized for it, blah, 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 blah. The important thing is, motherfucker, we're back. So, yeah, Austin, I'll see you next week, and to all you couch surfers out there, keep on surfing. Really fucking hope that next week's video is way less awkward. Yeah!